two something, 256.
Okay.
Is that not enough?
No, it's because I see how much you can like, how much time
Yeah.
you can get. It's like 5 hours, damn near.
Is it really?
Yeah, in 4K.
For real?
Yeah, and I'm like 2 hours. I'm like, God damn.
I gotta send you that link too then.
Yeah.
I sent you the link for the magnet. It was like $10. Um, the yeah, hold on. Yeah, 256.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad, $30.
That isn't bad.
Yeah.
Fuck. I should have just off the jump. I should have just bought that. I didn't initially when I got it. It was I didn't really know how much. I guess it was gonna like how much footage that was gonna get me.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck. I guess 64 should be cool.
Yeah.
Fuck up.
But I mean, you said you still get what, 2 hours on it?
Yeah, which is good.
I feel like that's pretty good still.
Yeah. Especially, but now I just got to be on top of my shit.
Yeah.
Where like,
Make sure it's cleared before you go to an event or something.
yeah, or just like make sure whatever I'm working on gets done before I can tackle on uh another project, which is like, I guess it's good for me, because it's like if I take on too many things at one time, then none of that shit gets done. If it does get done, it's not gonna be like in a capacity that I would have wanted. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck, dude. Like, I wasn't really like at 100% going into that. So
Yeah.
I guess that's like
And I
a
feel
silver
like
lining.
when you have it all on like a SD card, like, and say you delete footage sometimes, and like the SD card will fill in that number, like your shit will get lost in the mix and stuff, like a little unorganized. Felt like that's how the shit was for me with my GoPro for a while, but I don't know how this is, so we're gonna see how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have fun with it.
No, the DJIs are solid, bro.
Yeah.
This shit is solid. You're gonna love it.
This
You're
is
gonna
gonna
love
be crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Did you set up the resolution to
Yeah, you're straight.
was it 4K?
4K,
30?
60 FPS.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I made sure they're both like in sync, which so like it shouldn't be like any like noticeable difference. It should be the same.
Okay.
God willing.
How did you make it in sync? Just the same time or what?
Oh shit! Actually, we should probably nah.
I mean,
So
when you
none.
edit it,
Yeah, but if you do like a clap,
yeah,
then it's like okay, just look for the clap on both parts and then just start from there.
yeah.
I guess I'll see if that helps.
Here we are.
Yeah. But I guess one of the things it kind of like segue tackling on like too many things at one time, and like managing like multiple things and organizing yourself. Um, how have you been dealing with like? Because I know you got a lot on your plate. Like you're out here like coaching basketball, but also doing personal training, and then like your most important role, right, is father, husband,
Yeah,
right, and then a mentor to a lot of us, including myself, right.
appreciate that.
And then you're all like you are also one of the big three of the Grove and Showtime. You know, how has that been? How have you been able to like wear all those hats? At the capacity that you've been going at it.
Damn, that's good. I think like for me, like I know what my why is, and so I there's this saying I tell myself a lot, like, and I tell the kids too, or I tell some of the staff or the other coaches, like, when you know your why, the how is easy. So I think like how I do everything just comes like it may seem natural, but it's just because I know why I'm like driving, and it's my family, that's my daughter, my lady, my parents, my brother, his kids, all you guys, like, because you guys are all family, so I feel like I drive for you guys too, and so when I go through the day-to-days and the days they're busy, it just seems natural, because it's like I know we're all in this for like a bigger purpose, if that makes sense, so it's like just one day at a time, you know.
And I feel like I felt that some capacity. We're like we're in June already. Like
Crazy, bro. It went by
it's
fast.
yeah, but like when also like when you're like out there grinding every day and you know your why, like you know you see like how much sharper you were being. You know, if we're like working on a marble, each time we're striking it, the picture is getting clearer and the objective is getting closer to us.
Facts.
So I think that's also what's like exciting. We're gassed, right? You know, especially everybody else. I feel like I'm catching up, but we're all still on that same boat. Like we're exhausting ourselves, we're stretching ourselves thin. But I wouldn't want to have it any other way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
facts,
you know,
facts.
like uh, I used to avoid it. Really, like it was kind of bad. Where it was like, fuck, dude, like there's literally like no drive in you. And then you guys really like brought me up to, or brought it out of me. You know, gave me the platform. I like to say, gave me the platform to showcase it and like to find myself again. And I think that's one of the cultures that you bring, along with Coach Ant and Derek, where whoever's out here, dude, like a lot of people don't. You can be a great player, but if you're not a right fit for the culture, you don't have the right mentality. It's not gonna work.
Yeah,
It's not gonna work.
yeah.
You know. Can you speak a little bit? I know there was a. I guess people wondering like how. I guess I'll just go right here off the quote. So life ain't fair, right? This is straight from Kimo, straight from
Facts.
Kimo.
Yeah.
Life ain't fair. Lil youngin thinks shit's easy or sweet. People wonder how we do what we do and how we do it. They wonder what the difference is between us and them. They ain't us.
And not us. Yeah.
Can you speak a little bit to that and how you've like driven that that mentality into everybody you come in contact with?
Yeah, man. Damn, it's pretty deep. Uh, I feel like I've known Ant for like quite some time, you know,
Mm.
since we were pretty early 20s, bro. Like, kind of going through a shift in our life, man. And obviously, me and him were at an age where we're kind of out doing fuck shit, you know. Can I
Mm.
cuss, bro?
No.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit. No, you're good.
Okay,
Fuck
okay. Yeah,
it.
yeah. Just where we were kind of just out having a good time living our young life, you know.
Mhm.
And um, obviously, we kind of went through our own paths at one point, you know. And I feel like we both did growing on our own side, you know. Um, Especially for me, where I was at, you know, like kind of how I was up, my upbringing and stuff, and just some bullshit shit I went through in my life, and whether I put people through stuff or they put me through stuff, you know, like it made me learn a lot, you know. And for me, I'm a person who learns from other people's mistakes a lot, you know. So like
Mm.
even within conversations,
Yeah.
and I felt like some people I was kicking it with, like I saw where they were, who were a little older than me, and I was like, damn, I don't want to be there, you know. So for me, I made that shift, you know, like kind of right before I had Clea in my mid 20s.
Mhm.
And then ever since then was like just made sure I surrounded myself with like people who were also driven, you know. And for me, I felt like over the years, like that quote was pretty recent, you know, like
Mhm.
that 25-year-old me, 26-year-old me kind of would have just been like, yeah, that's cool, you know, like, but not live by it, you
Mhm.
know. And I feel like
That sounds cool.
it sounds cool, you
Yeah.
know, like that's like internet shit, you know.
Yeah. Not really embodying it.
Yeah, yeah, compared to like where we are now to where it's like, again, I know what my why is, you know, and so like I make sure that like I handle my stuff and I do try to be that mentor, that leader for everyone, because me being the oldest one in the group right now, it's like, hey, bro, like I know where we want to go, and if I'm the oldest one and not being that kuya, you know, like what am I gonna expect from the little siblings, you know, like
Yeah.
Like, so like if I'm living by something I said, and something my dad told me when I was a kid was a man is only a man only has his word, So I felt like me saying those words kind of sets that bar,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And so me making sure I attack it every day and making sure I do what I say,
Yeah.
and live by what I say too, you know.
Right.
And so I feel like me being that person and me like talking to you guys about that, and you guys also applying it to your guys' life too, like helps that quote,
Mm-hmm.
like to where it's like, yeah, they're not us, because it's like we do a lot of unseen work, like you and I were here till like pretty late last night, both had to get up early, you had
Mm-hmm.
work, I got up to go to the gym, that's my me time,
Mm-hmm.
then I was dad the whole day, you
Mm-hmm.
know, in here, I had Clea in here, so like being able to keep that going,
Mm-hmm.
and like be that role model where it's like you guys see me as a dad or as a coach or just me outside,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like you had asked about me wearing multiple hats too, and I feel like it's really not multiple hats at that time because it's like I embody who I am, and it's really the same person. You're gonna get me the
Mm.
same way as a coach, as
Yeah.
a friend, as a brother, like a no filter type of thing,
Yeah.
So
Okay. You're gonna get the same version of you through all your stages in parenting and fatherhood. Would you say that
yeah,
as well?
yeah, man. I mean, you seen Kalia, bro. Like she
She's
low
fucking
key,
hilarious.
she,
Kalia's awesome. She's great, dude. She's awesome.
she low key say out of pocket stuff all the time too,
Which is hilarious.
But it's like she
Yeah.
also sees the brighter things in life too, and
Hmm.
she knows when to lock in, and like at least right now for her, like her biggest thing that we're trying to teach is discipline and effort.
Hmm.
And I feel like that was like a hard thing for me to do when I was younger, so compared to where we are now.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if that answered your question, bro. That was kind of a long
I'm
answer.
sure it did.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, it did. It did.
somewhere
You
in
know.
there.
Because it's well, if a lot of people like what a lot of people will lack is if it's like a common denominator that will go off of it. It's that. It's like, yeah, like you're not out here going at it 100% as hard as everybody else.
Yeah,
If I have to like get that out of you every time, I
yeah,
shouldn't have to. One, I shouldn't have to do that. You should already want to get better, you
yeah,
know. And if you don't want to, then hey, this isn't the right
it's not for
fit for
you.
you, you
Yeah,
know. And that's fine,
yeah,
you know. How do you, because like there's always people that you encounter in life, right? We'll call them like the low IQ people or like the people that you
low
just don't really,
frequency, different frequency. Yeah,
for
yeah.
real. Even how have you always like been pretty decisive in like if I get in that vibe, like there's 99% I'm possibility that I'm not gonna see. I'm never gonna kick it with you again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm like if I don't feel the frequencies right, like I say this all the time, like people are dead to me, bro. Like I could be in the same room with you, bro, and I might know you from the past, bro, but if I don't fuck with you, like I just don't see you, like, and that's like just to keep my peace,
Yeah.
because it's like there's no point in me trying to be fake with somebody and like what's up, dog? How life? Blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
Hope all's well. Like it's like nah, bro. If I felt the wrong way and we didn't click the way I thought we would or you thought we would, then
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Hmm.
Like think they're NPCs. So it's like
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
And like especially where we're at as a group. Like we're all progressing, trying to move forward, do bigger things. So it's like and says it a lot too. Like the business and our culture find a way to like weed people out,
Yeah.
and like we don't have to do it, like everyone's done it to themselves, so
Hmm.
it's like that just is what it is.
Yeah. I think we're like us as a collective. we're like a fucking rock and like a stream of water. You know, if you stick with us, that's great. That's another rock we can like group.
Yeah,
But most of the time, it's people just like going by.
yeah, yeah,
Cool. You go do you. We're gonna keep doing us and head to this direction.
yeah.
You know.
And that's also not saying we haven't made mistakes. Like
Yeah.
we have people who come in the group that we like, we're really cool with. And it's like we felt like it would last. But like little things happen here and there, and those little things add up. And
Hmm.
something that actually like one of my cousins told me growing up was change adds up. Like, and we were saying in a good way. Like
Hmm.
we used to ask people for change after high school and go buy a box of pizza for us and the guys. To where now it's like I still apply that to where it's like those little changes, whether it's like small little mistakes or people breaking their word or like them not doing like,
Hmm.
just not being who they are, say
Yeah.
they are. Like all that adds up and then we don't ever wean those people out. Like they just feel the energy and they just make their way.
Make their
You know?
way out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Huh. I want to go back to the change, the small change. Pretty much like small changes have can have big impact,
exactly. Yeah.
right? How has your like I guess leadership grown from the first time you had to like tell somebody like whether at retro fitness or like in previous jobs or like hey you're fucking up to the point where you're at now where it's like you can comfortably have that conversation.
Man, like I think from when I first started, like you're young, like you get a little nervous, like no one likes confrontation. Like
Hmm.
I don't care who you are, bro. Like no one really wants to get into an argument or have beef with nobody. But I think like over the years, like again, like since I know my why, if I feel like it's deteriorating from it, like it's easier to have that conversation,
Right. Okay.
But again, like I was talking to you last night too, like where we had our meeting, like with everybody, and to where I still learn about myself, like
Hmm.
sometimes that's just me pushing like who I am as a person onto other people, like even if they're a lot younger, not at the same position or place or gone through what I've gone through. So it's like I'm still maturing in my way and as a leader, but from where I first started to where I am now, it's a big significant like difference. So it's
Hmm.
like the younger version would look at me now and like kind of be appalled of like how I move and how I like talk to people at times.
Hmm.
Um, or even the wisdom I have or even the words I say. Like an airheaded kid like would be like, damn, bro, like I'm proud of the version that I became.
Yeah.
And I'm still becoming. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I was at a coaching symposium um, for soccer this past weekend out where the Oakland Roots play. Um, and the main reason I went was because there was a sport psychologist that did a presentation. And like one of the last things he said was like if you gotta wanna as a coach, one, you can't run away from coaching and having those tough conversations.
Yeah.
Um, he pulled up that video of Mike Tomlin saying, it's like, oh, coaches run away from coaching. You know, this player can't learn. Well, you got to find out a way to make them learn, to teach them that. That's part of what being a coach is, right? So wanting to be a better coach and still like going back to what like how you were saying still evolving still growing in that aspect and wanting to be a better leader
Yeah.
a better coach is one of like the core foundations of being a coach is but also like in life this shit's gonna keep on going no matter
Yeah.
how many times we fuck up no matter how many times we get shit right we won great we still gotta go up and do it the next day we lost fuck it we learn we got to go out and still do it again the next day,
Yeah.
you know? So if we can have that, like, we'll go a little deeper into like the why, but I do like you having that as like your anchor, right? It's like this is like my center of mass. This is my center. Anything that strays away from that, cutting it off.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know. So that's
So
good that you have that.
I
It's
feel like as you're talking, it made me think of like that quote we use here, like just be who you needed when you were younger, you know?
mm-hmm.
And I feel like we were all kids, like, and we've all had coaches, and there was something that we liked about the coach, and there's something that we didn't like about the coach, so we kind of adjust ourselves to that. And then there's also things we wish a coach would have said to us when we were younger,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like outside of the why, like that's one of the bigger things too for all of us, like we've had multiple conversations with the kids where we're kind of just talking to younger versions of ourselves the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
like working with sixth graders, seventh graders, these middle school kids, like damn, if someone would have told me this at your age, like where the fuck would I be,
Yeah.
like if somebody would have invested their time like this, like or you know, yeah, just help me out a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
like where could we be, like not even just in our athletic journeys, but like our careers,
Yeah.
where could we be as people, like with the lack of help I feel like I had from coaches at a younger age compared to what we give now. Like I'm excited to see all these kids' journeys,
Yeah.
like it's rewarding,
Mm-hmm.
like pretty cool, bro. So
Yeah. I'm excited to like. My dad was like my second coach, but he was also like the one that I've had for the longest time. Because the first time I went to go try out for a team, I just wasn't at the skill level. So the coach just straight up said, "Yeah, take him somewhere else. He's not. He's not here. He can't play with us." And I've always remember that, even to like this day. Like I still remember like going to the practices and just not uh, going well, doing well, right? After a certain time, first year's rough, but you start to like find other players that are at your skill level. And I'm bringing all this up because it's like my dad has made a a positive impact with a lot of fucking players, a lot of kids my age. You know, they still see him like, "Hey, how you doing, coach?" Like much like how you guys have that same effect, and I'm very appreciative because it's like now I can kind of get to do the same thing as like my dad did with my boys that I have, the 10, 13 players that I get. And I'm also learning from you guys as well on like how to be that better coach and leave a positive impact on them that can definitely benefit them in the grand scheme of things, God willing. God willing. Um, how do you I talk at the symposium we talked about like the sports psychology, the mental, right? Um, we went over like if you can get like I guess a match script or like a team match script, three
yeah,
things they can focus on, which I've been doing this past like couple weeks. It's energy, positivity, and bravery, right? So I'm trying to instill that in these boys like every time as much as possible, and a camaraderie I think is a big part of that culture. When I see it here, I see how much all these coaches are like dedicated to helping everybody,
yeah,
you know. So I'm excited to see these kids, like you said, see them grow, and also like fucking 5 years down the line,
bro.
see where that, see where they are.
It's crazy, man. Yeah, like one of the first kids I coached, like the first group of kids I coached was a 7 to 9 year old like
Mm-hmm.
football team.
Mm-hmm.
I was just on as a trainee, just kind of learned from like the other coaches and stuff, and um, got cool with some of the families. Like one of those kids, like I think he's like 26, 27 now, bro. Like still like talks to me. He sent me a message like, bro, like thank you for like always supporting me and the family, like or being a part of the family,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I was only such a small part of this kid's life, but to make a like lifelong impact was crazy.
Yeah.
It's a crazy feeling, like to see where he went from like just learning how to play football to playing in high school to going off to like a D2 school and then came back to coach's high school, was one of like the number one offensive coordinators in the United States basically, and then
Okay.
also a real estate agent in the area, bro, and I remember when we were first trying to move like facilities, he was like one of the guys I reached out to, so it's like I forget, and I told our younger coaches this, like we forget how much of an impact we make, um, like just in the last like week or two, I've had like parents come up to me and be like, bro, your family, like I appreciate you a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And like for me, I never had that with a coach. I never had a coach that I felt like was a brother or a father figure or, uncle in that sense, and so for
Mm-hmm.
us to be that for this people in the area, the generations, it's like, oh shit, like kind of like what you said about your dad, like that's fire to me, bro. Like to be able to like have like generations of people like fuck with you,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um, there's this coach, his name is Craig, just passed away, RIP. He had an organization called the Santa Clara Lions, and the city of Santa Clara just did a whole thing for him yesterday,
Mm.
you know. Um, and he's been coaching, I want to say, since the 60s or 70s.
Okay.
Forgive me if I got the dates wrong, but
Yeah.
he's been doing it for a while, and so like I think about like the impact that he's had, like there's this Facebook thread for the Lions, and it was like since he's passed, bro, like daily, constantly, like people throwing out the year they played for him, how much of an impact he was, and I don't think like any of us as coaches are really thinking that, we're just doing it because we love it,
Mm.
and we again want to be who we needed when we were younger, and
Mm-hmm.
I definitely felt that from him,
Yeah.
so like to be like kind of in that same track in that sense, like I think it's fire,
Mm-hmm.
and to hear about your dad too, I'm like, oh shit, like that's in your blood too, so it's like just the lives that you're going to impact as well as the time goes on,
Yeah.
you know, like so it's like it's cool that like our circle, like again, like we low key know what the bigger picture is,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not doing it for like the grand scheme of everything, it's like a like this is kind of like a goal that we're working for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna call out Lum, like so Coach Lum, like I don't know if you've seen him on the floor, bro, but bro's a dog, like
I aspire to be like Coach Lump.
bro, I wish I could hoop like Coach Lum, especially at
Mm-hmm.
that age,
Mm-hmm.
like, and he can go play D2, D1 somewhere, but he knows, like, he feels that, like, he makes a bigger impact helping the youth and helping the kids, and, like, I have that conversation with him a lot, like, bro, go play. Like, we'll be here when you're done. He's like, nah, like, I feel like this is, like, my path and my journey, and
Mm-hmm.
so for somebody to put themselves aside,
Yeah.
for, like, the next, like that's big, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's not too many coaches out there like that.
You know, they have like the, I guess like that foresight too, bro. A lot of people, you said, put himself to the side. Like, you know what, I probably could, if I really wanted to, but I wouldn't be fulfilled.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be like, I could be making a bigger impact on, and we know like his dedication to his faith and to his religion as
Yeah.
well. So that's why Coach Lum, I love seeing him in action.
Bro, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I try to tell him as much as I can, but
Mm-hmm.
also being big bro, I gotta kind of be like, hey dog, you do a little more.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me wanting to make sure that like he's not stagnant. Like
Yeah.
I've been telling all my kids this week, bro. Like your parents tell you good job. That's not me. Like I'm gonna be here to push you past your mental, physical barrier. And like and I don't just do that with our athletes, like I feel like I do that with the group too and with the coaches too, especially these younger ones. So it's cool to see like where they're at, like we had a meeting last night. We had some people come through you know. And I had to text Jorge after him, like, bro, you're a lot further than people your age than you really know, dog.
Dude, yeah, I fucking forget that dude's like fucking 5, 6 years younger than my ass.
So I got a decade on him, you know. So
Yeah.
I'm like, and you know, like for me, I treat all you guys like my peers. Like you guys, you guys respectfully call me Kuya, but I don't feel like Kuya to you guys, you know. Like um, I don't even really try. Excuse me. I don't really try to be either.
Hmm.
You know, I just again just try to be me in at
Yeah.
all aspects. You know, whether it motivates you guys or not. Like
Hmm.
um, you know, so it's like it's cool to kind of actually sit back and this motherfucker teases me every day about like my age and shit and like do you feel old yet? Da-da-da-da. You know, and it's
Yeah.
like it's cool because it's like damn bro, like you're gonna go way further than I did, you know, and that's ultimately like what we want. So
Hmm. Hmm.
bro, it's a crazy journey, you know,
Hmm.
so it's like I've been appreciating everything I can. So
Yeah. Um, as far as like coaching, right? You also probably had like one of the most fulfilling and rewarding jobs as being a dad.
facts.
You know, being a father, can you speak a little bit as to, I guess, when you found out, like, I guess one, I'm gonna be a dad to like the point you're at now, where it's
Yeah,
like,
I'm a dad.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh man.
yeah, you get to wake up and be blessed, man, every
Bro,
day.
bro, facts, facts. Like, oh man, I remember finding out, man. Like, I was on my way to Monterey. Um, my lady had called me and let me know that like she may be pregnant and whatnot. And I remember I had a glass in my hand, and I just dropped it. Shit shattered in the car.
Oh
Like,
shit.
bro, like I was. It's one of those moments like you just don't forget. You know, like hearing those words. You know, and I was like, "You sure?" You know, like I almost fucked around and be like, "You sure it's mine, dog?" Like, you know, like
Just like the joking is
you know me, I'm
the
out of
joke.
pocket, dog.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, and then like kind of went through my shift. She went and got her blood work, and I came home, and I remember I walked into the room, and she looked at me, and I like was taking off my jacket, and she was like, "We're having a baby," and like I was like, "For sure, it's go time," you know, like we have a secret handshake. I dabbed her up, snapped at the end, gave her a hug, and I was like, let's go, you know, and I felt like that was one of those big pivotal moments and like memories that I'll always have, you know, because it's like, again, being young, young 20s, you know, you're like, you're still trying to find yourself, you know, and then having to find out that I'm having a kid, it's like, oh shit, like, I gotta lock the fuck in, you know, like, and not just lock in on my wife and her, we didn't know her gender, but my wife and the baby, but on myself.
I thought you meant your wife's gender.
My
Oh.
wife's gender, yeah.
I was like, oh. My bad.
Well, now we're at the time of the podcast.
Yeah.
No. Nah, yeah. So like having to lock in and kind of make sure that I was right, you know. So I have a good friend I've met in a youth group. I was a trouble kid, man. So my mom put me in a youth group, hoping it would like help me out. And
Which, did you ever go to Beyond Scared Straight?
bro, my dad did something like that for me, bro. Like that was super traumatizing. Super traumatizing, dog.
It's
Um,
like that shit did not work.
it worked. It worked.
Oh, wait.
It worked. I ain't gonna lie, it worked. So, but like being a kid, like middle school, I'd already like got in trouble like with the law, like and basically my mom was like, "Hey, like I need you to kind of reconnect with God, you know," and put me in youth group. And luckily, like some of my elementary school friends were in that youth group already, so it was like an easy transition to get in there and hang out with them.
Mm.
And I met some guy there that went to a different school. Still great friends with him to this day. He's actually the guy who I told you who messaged me about his wedding, going back to Cabo.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
yeah.
Are
So
you gonna break him the news right here on live on the podcast?
well, I don't know. I'm trying to go, dog. I ain't
Yeah.
even gonna lie to you, dog. Like Cabo was fun, so why wouldn't I want to go? But
Where they
yeah,
at?
probably not go, man. Sorry. Like you know, unfortunately. So as much as I love to. He's one of my good friends, man. Like, um, when we hop on the phone, like it's an hour, 2 hour conversation, man. Like super smooth all times. Like we're laughing at each other's traumas, laughing at each other's pain, but also like there to motivate each other to keep going through the shit,
Mm.
And so like meeting him, he was a big pivotal point for me too. Having him like introduce me to a lot of like shit a young kid goes through. Oh
Mm.
fuck, that's not pause.
Hey, yo.
Yo, time out. Nah,
Oh,
yeah,
yo, yo.
like um
Cut.
being young and burning, like smoking a lot. Like he was the first person that I had smoked with and stuff. Like obviously cut this out if anything, but like one of like the first high school parties I went to, like he was there, always had my back, bro. Like I remember like like he got me into basketball heavily, and I got him into football, and
Mm.
switched to a sport we both loved. I remember being at his house, like washing clothes in the sink, like having that shit air dry, like,
Yeah.
just like not being where we are now, And so, um, what was the original question, doggy? I'm about to go off and go talk about my homie, and I was like, damn, what was the question?
Like father in that moment,
That,
yeah. So being locking in, you were
yeah.
meeting, you
Oh,
met
I
him
met him.
on
Thank
like
you.
when you were like making sure you had your, well, you make sure you were locked in
Yes,
when you
yes.
found out the
Damn,
news.
super. I just wanted to go off about my homie. So he,
Yeah.
bro, obviously after high school you lose touch with people, and
Right.
me and him were really tight in high school, and then I was at Retro Fitness at the time, had left Retro Fitness, and this is around the time like I found out I was having Kalia
This was after high school.
after high
Yeah.
school. So after high school, like,
I say that's like the time you find out like who you really want to be friends with
bro,
after high school for sure.
for real, bro, like out of everyone in my high school, I probably talked to him,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
and so like, and he's the one friend I always keep in touch with, but he's one of those guys that are always self-improving, so
Mm.
it's the reason I brought him up. And so during that time, like I'm going through like, damn, I gotta lock in, I gotta be this person. He put me on a bunch of self-help books, bro. Like, um, the only one I could really think of right now was called The Four Agreements, and
Oh, Don.
starts with a D, Deepak or something like almost like something
I
like
was gonna
that.
say Don Juan, but I feel like that's like a fucking
You're in the Cabo
playboy,
mind, Don Julio.
playboy from State Boy. But Four Agreements is really really good.
It was a good book, bro.
Yeah.
I felt like that was kind of like the start of my journey to kind of like improving and making sure that like every day, like I forgot what you used earlier, but like the way I always say it is like I put my one brick down a day.
One breakdown.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and so like I put my one brick down, and whether I'm building a wall or a pathway or a house, like at the end of some time, I get to look back and see that growth,
Yeah.
and so he was one of the first people to kind of instill that, and then he's kind of still that person. Like he called me last week just to check in with me, bro, just to see where I'm at, and it's like I don't do that for too many people, and like so for somebody to do that to me is pretty big.
Hmm.
Something I cherish, like, hey, dog, like, where's your mental at? Where you at with your relationship? Like, how's fatherhood?
Hmm.
Like, how's the business? Like, what's the next steps?
Hmm.
How are you going to do that? So it's like someone who's always like keeping me accountable in that sense, and I would say he's like my kuya. He's like 2, 3 months older than I am, but he's always been like that big brother figure,
Hmm.
so yeah, man. So like having him like hella help me like through this fatherhood process, like me finding out I was having a girl, bro, was like first thing I said, bro, was like I think I gotta go to jail, bro. Like I'm gonna kill a motherfucker one day, bro. Like over my daughter.
Uh.
And he just laughed, like he knows, bro. So
Hmm.
he he's always been that person to make the tension or the awkwardness like less, and so like he's helped me through this process of making sure I appreciate and cherish everything, you know, because I'm in the rat race, bro, like the business entrepreneur side where I am doing all this kind of going through the stuff and I'm just not realizing everything's happening at the same time where I do have so many hats on.
Yeah.
And he's one of the guys who's like, hey, stop and smell the flowers. You know, like your daughter's 9, she's getting hella big, you know, she's a mini you know, and like, I,
Mm.
I get you.
She has a high IQ.
Yeah, bro.
Super fucking
She's
smart.
like her mom, bro, for sure. Yeah, she's they're smart, so it's like it's hard to it's hard to like get one on her, bro, because she got a fast trigger, bro.
Yeah.
Like I think she called me an asshole earlier this week, bro. Like I had called someone else an asshole, and she's like, "Well, that's what you are." And it's like, bro, you weren't even part of this conversation. Like I just caught it straight from you, you know,
Yeah.
and you know, but like yeah, like even where she's at with her life, bro. Like me trying to teach her the discipline and giving her her effort, bro. Like and her waking up today and was like, I gotta go get my shots up, my handles up. I gotta read my book before I play with my friends online. You know, like
Mm.
bro, me at her age, bro, like I'm outside, like I ain't never touch a book in the summer, like ever. Like,
Yeah, I do the homework packet like the day before, a couple days before
bro,
fucking school.
I'm a little slow, bro.
Oh,
I would never do that stuff, bro.
you'd be
Like,
like, yeah, I lost it.
yeah, yeah, like my
I never
dog
got
ate
one.
that shit, you know. Like, I'm that kid who like got bad grades and like the report card would come home and like I'm hiding the report card and like they just didn't send it, mom, you know. Like,
I lost it. I don't know.
yeah,
They lost it.
yeah, yeah. So like where she's at, bro, like I do get to cherish that a lot and like I do get to see myself in her, but also again see her mom. And so it's one of those things where it's like I just am trying to be who I needed when I was younger, you
Hmm.
know, like dad was absent for a bit, so it's cool to like be here like I have her 24/7, bro. You know, like at least now. I had a
Hmm.
lot of help when she was a youngin and we were trying to get all this started. But now that she's older, like pretty self-efficient, you know, like she's with me. She gets in here when I get in here and she typically leaves when I leave. You know, she's a part of just getting like 4 workouts in a day,
Yeah.
getting to stand during the practice with the older kids, you know, hanging out with high school kids, getting advice from pros, shit we never got, you know. So it's like
Yeah.
I do cherish everything, bro. Like it's so cool.
Hmm.
It's cool to see where she's at.
Yeah. And I think it's really dope that she enjoys doing all of this. Like she wants to like be here.
Yeah.
It'd be completely different if she was just like I want to be up here and sleep or
Yeah.
just play on my Switch or just watch my show
Yeah.
and then not interact with everybody or be active. But
Yeah. She's out here she's calling out the middle school kids like, hey, let's play the ones, you know, and she getting dogged, bro, but she's like having fun,
hmm
you know. So it's like, damn, like, bro, it's a big blessing to see, you know, like, and again, like, kind of reflecting from where I was at then to where I am now, like, completely different person, you
hmm
know. And same thing with her, obviously, because she grew, you know, but like, just to see where my relationship is with her mom and
hmm
all that is like super rewarding.
yeah.
Yeah.
How is like you guys have been together for what 13 years, 20 years,
Yeah, we're at 18. Yeah.
18.
Yeah, we hit 20 in 2 years. Yeah.
What are you guys gonna do for that 20? You guys have to have like this big. I think even like 5 years is like a significant time to be with somebody
Yeah.
because there's nothing that they really have. There's probably been like no side that they haven't seen by that point. Maybe, maybe,
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, nah, facts, facts, nah.
maybe.
Um, honestly, the goal, like, um, so, so her parents were deported, before, got dad back. We're trying to get mom back. And
Mm-hmm.
so they weren't around for our wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I'm hoping we get mom here. And so for 20 years, I want to do like a reception, get all the homies, you know, like the family, and just celebrate together, you know,
Yeah.
because it's like our 20 years, it would also be our 10 years of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I would love her parents to be there. I would love my parents to be there because like, so her parents didn't come to like our wedding, so I didn't even tell my parents either. And so I think my mom found out on Facebook. Yeah.
What would you say is like something that doesn't work for everybody, but it works for you guys? Like this is what like keeps our love for each other fulfilled, and like our bucket filled from of each other, of how we love each other.
Basics, bro. Communication.
Communication.
Be a thousand, bro. It's just being transparent.
Mm,
You know, like because none of us are perfect.
yeah.
You know, so it's like I'm pretty transparent with her about like damn near everything, bro.
Yeah.
No, actually everything.
There's really nothing you because there's like the I guess like the masculine, right? The fucking the alpha mentality of like not showing the women or like the feminine side of where you're vulnerable. If you're like stressed out, like you gotta just keep that shit down and lock in and don't let them know like you're struggling in that aspect. What you're saying is opposite.
Yeah.
It's like I have to be open with you. I gotta let you know what's going on in my life
Yeah.
in case I fucking flip out for some fucking reason. Like it's not nothing to do with you. You know,
Facts.
maybe it's something that I just got to deal
Something
with.
that happened throughout the day, you know? Yeah, and I think I learned that from like, because my parents are divorced, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So like I grew up with my mom and my little brother, and like my mom is, me and my mom are tight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like her and I are pretty transparent with each other, have that open communication. So I think like I knew to bring that into like my relationships, and I think I low key have that in all my relationships. You know, with like my friends, the
Mm-hmm.
kids, the parents here. You know, um, and at home. You know, like I'm pretty like I'm an open book. You know, like because I don't. Again, I don't have the mental capacity to like hold things in or hide things. You know, it's like I'm gonna just be keep it a buck the entire time, you know? So it's like, that's just kind of where it's at and how it's like helped with my relationship at home, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Just being able to be like, hey, dog, like, example, bro. So, one of the kids I worked with his freshman year, um, talked to his mom last week. Did I tell you this already? So, talked to his mom last week, and she was like, hey, like, he graduated high school. They had to move to the East Coast because her sister got sick.
Mm-hmm.
They moved to the East Coast, only talked to them through text. And she was like, hey, like, he's going to go out and play football out here for college. Like,
Oh,
you know, you've
dope.
always been family. Like, I would love to see you when I come down. I was like, for sure. Like, I'll take you guys out to dinner. Like, let's make some plans. And he calls me 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Calls me 2 days ago, bro, and was like, hey, like, just checking in with you. I was like, what's good, dog? Like, my energy's up. I was like, how you doing, bro? And I call on the way to the facility, got Kalia in the front seat, and he's like, my mom passed away last night.
Oh,
And I was like, what? Like, bro, like, I'm sorry, you know, like, fuck,
yeah.
you know?
Right.
And so, talked to him for about an hour, bro, like, just trying to be there for him, you know? Like, just graduated high school, dad's not in the picture, lost mom, you know? Now he's on the East Coast, trying to get to the West Coast, you know? So, talking to him, I come in the facility and I'm trying to joke around with Derek, bro, but tears are coming down my eyes because it's like it's sitting heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I know I brought some weird energy into the building that day, you know? And then 2 hours later, I get a phone call from Alex. Hey, dog, tore my ACL. It's like, the fuck's happening today, bro? You know? This has nothing to do with just everything that was happening, but I went to Chick-fil-A and they fucked up on my order. I had bought everyone here food, and they forgot Derek's salad. And so I was low-key hot, bro. She was like, are you sure it's not in the bro? I was like, what the fuck you mean? You know, like just lashing out on somebody who has nothing to do with throughout the day, you know. So I
Mm-hmm.
had to text my lady and be like, hey, dog, like, today's a rough day. This is what's happening. My mental's just not in the right place, And so me being transparent with her, I got home, we got to chop it up, and like it's things like that that help our relationship, to where it's like obviously she goes through shit, I go through shit, but we talk about it, and she's an outside perspective, and she knows me like the fuck she say? I'm an empath. Uh, I'm basically empathetic, like I really feel for people and like I let that sit heavy on me. So like she saw me up all night just sitting there like staring at the mirror, pacing back and forth in the room. She's like, "Hey, like you had no control over any of this. Like you can breathe, like let it go." And like me just hearing that, like I fell asleep, And so it's like having that transparency with her, bro, and me being with her for so long, like she knows like how to help ease me, And like that's hard to find, bro. Like I got certain friends I try to open up to like that, and they're just like, yeah, yeah, whatever, dog. Like, man the fuck up, Like it is what it is. We all go through shit, But just to have that one person at home to just be like, nah, I got you. I understand what you're going through. It's hard,
Yeah.
you know,
Somewhere you can be safe,
bro.
comfortable, and
Yeah,
vulnerable.
yeah. And she hears, I be doing wild shit, bro. Like, I'm not perfect, bro. And so she hears my wild shit.
Right. Right. Um, and then was it always like that, or was it something that like you guys had to learn about each other and like how to communicate and how to deal with those those moments in time and
Yeah, nah, dog. We were definitely not like that the whole time, bro. It's just always trying to get better, and us always trying to get better. That just came with it. And our communication ain't perfect, bro. So it's like something we're always still working on and getting better. But just the fact that she's a team player and she
yeah.
also wants to make sure that like we're working together to get to where we want to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's been big,
That's
and
good.
like I would say she's more of a team player than I am when it comes to it on aspects, like so it's like me still learning and me still
Yeah.
trying to grow too,
Yeah.
but she's also like very patient with me. Like I've only seen her mad once, we've been together 18 years, and I've done some pretty wild shit, so it's like it's crazy to have somebody that calm and open-minded,
Mm-hmm.
so
That's
yeah.
dope. Um, I think for me, I'm getting better at communication. One, I'm like I know what the days and I can anticipate the days where I'm like mentally exhausted, physically as well. Um, yeah, and there's times where I just I try to talk to my parents and they because I don't have like a partner I can like go to, right? My parents or like my siblings or you guys, right? Um, but most of the time I always like chop it up with my parents at least for a little bit, and they're like in the generation of not understanding when to let just somebody vent.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
They're old school, bro.
they're
Yeah.
super old school, and like my dad's like I talk to him a lot of my struggle currently is just like how we talked about in the icebreaker yesterday. The biggest struggle for me is about to be a year. By the way, it's almost going to be a year since we went to Cabo.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Yeah. Right.
July.
It's wild. Yeah.
Yeah, July.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But most of my struggle currently is like just getting these kids. How can I get them better? Fucking opening a door, not working, closing it, going to another one, take another swing. And I was talking to my mom and dad, and my dad was just, "Oh, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this." I'm like, "All right, bro." Like I was like so close to like kind of like going off, but I did realize like
He's coming from a good place. He's trying to give you some
that's all
advice.
he knows,
Yeah.
and that's how he is trying. That's his attempt. So I was like, yeah, yeah. All right, I'm gonna because if I stay here like any longer, like I did just want them to like just understand and like hear me out. That would have been enough for me, but understanding somebody when somebody is just like needing to vent or like they want like you to like like I guess console them.
Yeah.
Um, it can actually like do the opposite of what you're trying to achieve. Him, that was his way of consoling me, but it was doing the opposite where it was getting me more aggravated. I'm like, bro, I just need you to listen,
Yeah.
you know? Um,
I feel
so,
like after that Cabo trip last year, like I definitely like. I mean, right before that, I got to closer to Derek. So he's someone I like. I used to talk to Ann a lot and talk to Derek a lot too. And then actually, like when all this stuff was happening, like today's today's Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
Yesterday, bro, like I sent Del Sol a video, and I was just like, just telling him like, bro, like I'm unmotivated, bro. Like I'm at the gym, like dealing with the death, dealing with, and so I feel like I'm learning to open up to like more people and letting them in,
Mm-hmm.
like, because again, like I know if I went to talk to my dad or talk to my mom, like they would try to understand, but they're not gonna fully understand, and sometimes it's like, for me, I'd rather talk to one of the homies,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, especially talking to you guys know the people I'm talking about. So it's like you guys also have that same feel, like compared to me going home talking to my lady, because she's like, that shit's out of your control, dog. Like,
Mm-hmm.
go to bed, get over it type shit, like, you're keeping me up, nigga, go to bed. Like,
Yeah.
so like, that's why when Del Sol came in yesterday, like, I don't know if you're up here, but he dabbed me up, bro, and he's like, hey, bro, I seen your video, like, and then that's when I told him about Alex. Oh no, you came in right after, because then I told you,
Mm-hmm.
like right when you pulled up too. And so, like being able to open up to you guys too has been like a big help on my journey on like keeping my mental good,
Mm-hmm.
because like again, like we all go through shit, whether it's like bullshit in life, like whether it's deaths, injuries, drama at home, or just our own mental from like past traumas and stuff, and like I don't want to trauma dump on like just my lady or bullshit on just my lady, like um being able to open up to you guys and like, yo, dog, like I'm older and I'm able to try to communicate that and open and get and be an open book,
Mm-hmm.
because we do cry, we do feel, we do have feelings.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we're in a world now where it's not about like, oh, I'm macho, blah, 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 but we're all also not like Cat, so yeah.
Like cat, like
Yeah,
big purr,
Big Purr.
big purr.
Is that what they call him? Yeah, you call
Yeah,
him Big Purr?
they call him big purr, dude.
Oh my
Big
God.
cat. But changing the voice, switching out, code switching out. What do they call it? Code switching?
Take that one out, doggy. Nah.
We'll
Um,
clip that one.
yeah.
That's the one that's gonna go viral, by the way. Basketball coach.
I'm getting canceled
Really?
already, bro. Man.
Uh,
Yeah.
but I think what's helping me kind of be more well, even like this, I've realized like sometimes like I just start my mind starts to wander, and I'm doing a better job at catching it and bringing it back. So like being in the moment,
Yeah.
and being more present is helping me out a lot, and more so like in conversations, because I feel like it's kind of fucked up if somebody's like talking to me and my mind is like wandering.
Yeah.
Before it would just happen. I'd be like, my bad. What? What'd you
Yeah.
say?
Huh? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Or then just is like, just let it keep going. Like, all right.
Yeah, like, wait for the part that like you can hang on to, and then
Yeah.
um, but being more present. Is there something that like you can, I guess we'll go like towards like more the mental side, because that's like something you know this like, or talk to you, and I try not to talk about it because I hear that it's like when you speak about stuff, your mind doesn't really, it starts to imagine things. It doesn't know if it's real or not. So I don't want to like get hooked onto it. But I'm really big in sports psychology, is what I'm getting at, and it's like, you coaching as well with the Showtime with the girls. There's a couple times where like they're playing to the level of not up to their standard, right? Do you see like a lot of like mental gaps and like mental lapses that they are like, I guess, struggling with, and like you can kind of call out and recenter them?
Yes, I think the recentering is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like the conversation I had today is with one of the girls is sometimes they just listen to girls better because they're a girl, you know,
Mm.
which is true, like me being a young kid too. Like if I had a girl coach, I'm probably gonna listen to a guy coach before I listen to a girl coach.
Yeah.
And that's just the the aspect of things, But like
Yeah.
I think like that mental side, like I think we all go through it,
Mm-hmm.
especially at a younger age in sports, like and it's us having to like reflect on ourselves, like for me, I don't think like for the athletes, like we can try to help them, but it's like it's really up to the athlete,
Mm-hmm.
So right now, like I've talked to all the girls about like us, filling our head with that negativity at times, and
Mm.
majority of the time it's us against us, you know. But if we stay disciplined, tell ourselves to shut up, we
Mm.
can get the job done,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Tone that negative voice.
Yeah,
Silencio.
Silencio, Bruno,
Yeah.
So
That's wild that it's like we can bring that into the realm of like sports,
yeah, it's
especially in
true.
kids.
Yeah, it's
It's a
true.
fucking Disney movie. Who doesn't love it?
Yeah,
You know?
I had that same talk with one of the boys, middle school boys, yesterday, man. Like, been bringing him in a lot. He's been talking to the pros, and I've been making, not making, but I've been asking the pros to give him advice, like what they would tell their younger self, just to help him progress. And I think he got like 3, 4 hours of work in yesterday, bro, and then tried to hop into academy, and his legs were dunzo, bro. And just started crying, you know? And so, like, had to pull him to the side. And I also had a kid coming off of ACL who's also been through it, like, really wanting to cry. Brought both of them together to talk to them about, like, y'all, like, look, like, we're blessed to be here still. Like, whether you feel like you want to give up or not, like, you're still standing. You
Mm-hmm.
didn't fall, And so I feel like even doing that with the girls too at times, like, and we do that, but it's like, do they listen to us? I don't fucking know, dog. Like, but it's things that like at the moment as coaches we feel like that's something they may need to hear. Like, hey, like you got this.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're stronger than you think. And for athletes and their psychology, like maybe that's something you need to hear sometimes. Like I come from an era where everyone just cussed you out. Like strictly.
And that was okay. Like,
That
it's
was cool.
okay for coaches to fucking just
Yeah.
talk so much shit to you.
Bro, I had a coach mad at me, a basketball coach mad, and he picked up the football helmet and threw it at me. And we're in the room, and like it didn't hit me, but like I just remember like it happening, and like me and my other homie like looked at each other and we're just like just laughed. Like it didn't motivate us or anything, bro. Like if anything, it was like I ain't gonna go out there and play harder. Like fuck you, dog. Like,
Bro, this is JV.
bro, it was JV, dog. That's the thing. Like
You want me to fucking
it's a
put my
JV
heart
preseason game.
in?
Relax, bro. Like so.
Oh, fuck.
So like making sure that we try to approach everyone differently, like, and I talk to the girls a lot because it's like I know they're more of that mental side,
Mm-hmm.
and like, especially with girls, like, not all of them like respond to yelling, you know, Like sometimes they just need like again someone to hear them out at that time and understand them, you know. Um, I had a conversation with the team about the whole Silencio Bruno, you know, and then us also knowing that like we play this sport to block out all the other bullshit in our lives, you know, and so like after all the girls went out to warm up and one girl just stood there and was like started crying. So I kind of talked to you. Had a cool conversation after that, you know, and so like sometimes that's all they need, you know, is just to hear that like, damn, like I don't have to be stuck in this system, you know, or be in the system of the team, you know, like there's a coach who's here to hear me out, you know, and so it's like I feel like that's kind of the biggest thing with the mental side on the girl side, you know, because again, like I don't know how you were as an athlete, but you want to impress your coaches.
Always.
You do. You know, you want to impress them, and at times it's like that's not what they're looking for. You know, at least for me as a coach, like, bro, like I just want you to be you. Go do what you do, you know.
Yeah.
But again, I also understand as a kid, you're like, I don't want the coach mad at me, you know. So
Yeah. I think for me, like I did a good job of um, meeting the standard or them being content with me, but I never went past that. And it wasn't until later on, after I developed more, that I looked back and I was like, yeah, I kind of needed somebody to be like, bruh, you could be doing so much more than this. So it wasn't more so like the hear me out, you know, it was more so like, here's guidance. I need guidance
yeah,
on this. But sometimes you don't really know that you need the guidance until it's too late,
yeah,
you know? So that's good that you are like also talking to them about the mental side because that's something they can take outside of the game. We talk about being a coach in the game, in the sport, but there's also that other hat that you can wear.
yeah. There's life, dog. You know, like what are wins and losses at the end of the day? Like like who remembers your wins? Who remembers your losses? Hey, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's exactly what I say the L stands for, bro. We don't take losses. We take lessons. We learn.
yeah,
You know, and I would rather be with a team that loses a lot because we do get those lessons to get better than a team who wins a lot and just stays stagnant. You know, so I feel like that's where, I mean, we are. You know, like I remember first starting with some of these girls, like where they're going to sixth and seventh grade, sixth to seventh grade. You know, and shit, I don't remember how many games we fucking won, you know, compared to now where like they all expect that like we should be getting first at all times. But it's like, hey dog, like that's not what it's about. Are you improving? Are you improving as a person? You're being a good teammate, you know. I feel like the one biggest thing with like a lot of the kids nowadays is when they get frustrated, they beat themselves up. And we're our own biggest critic.
like that downward spiral.
Bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Monte Ellis just had a podcast, bro, and he was talking about like when you're frustrated, you can't perform.
Right. Yeah.
And that's
You sent us
facts.
that one in the group chat.
I
Right?
did, yeah, bro. That Monte had fucking bars, bro. Like he's a goat, bro, for sure. You know, so like just hearing him talk about it too, like that side of sports, you know, like because you have a lot of coaches that do weigh heavy on the wins, you know, and it's like again, I'd rather have a kid who loves the sport and willing to work hard than a kid who just is hella lazy and hella skilled.
Yeah.
I also don't mind working with the lazy and skilled one, you know, because if you can get his mental right, he's a killer, you know. So, and that's
Yeah.
just not in sports. That's life.
Yeah. There's like coaches that just play to keep their job for job security. They'll do they'll win just enough games to keep them happy, but also not like go past that. And then there's people like, shit, I'm gonna take more of the riskier route and try to develop something here.
Facts.
Try to develop the culture. In the symposium, they showed us a clip of like the Warriors' core values, and how like they like instill it in everybody. I forgot what that one was like. Have fun every day. It's more like understandable once you get to like that level and at an adult. So like I can't really embody that to that capacity just yet to the kids, but I'm looking forward to that day to when I can,
Yeah.
you know, and they're able to understand it, you know.
Yeah, that's hard for a kid, because it's like, yeah, like we're not coaching them on their actual sport, so when they're here, we're just having conversations with them, and then they go out and it's like a whole different thing. So
Yeah.
that's what's kind of tough. I mean, you have the kids that you coach, and I have the girls that I coach too, but it's like with the athletes we train, and we work with on the side, it's like trying to instill these life lessons into them, because
Mm-hmm.
again, at 35, like, I don't fucking remember my wins and losses, bro. I do remember the good times. I do remember the lessons, so it's like that's way more important in my overall development as a person and how I am with other people,
Yeah.
you know.
What would you say is like the one of the most impactful like losses that you maybe have like maybe gone through?
Game wise or just like losses in general?
The most impactful, if it was a game one, if it was one that happened during a game that was pretty impactful, that outweighed the other one, then we'll go with that one. It could be either one.
Man, I would say like the first girls team I ever coached, I was probably 18, 19, bro.
Oh fuck!
Bro. And you had the
How old
parents
were they?
yelling. They're like fourth grade. Yeah.
Fuck!
And so
I
they're
don't know
like
how old that is. Like what, 10, 11?
9, 10. Yeah, 9, 10.
10. Okay.
Yeah. And so like the parents are yelling because obviously parents want to win, and I had all the girls just crying. Bro, that shit hurt, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because it was like I had nothing I could do or say to make them feel better, but it was one of those moments for me to where it was like, why? Like, why does this loss weigh so heavy? It's the fucking YMCA. Who the fuck gives a
Well,
fuck, bro?
and we just lost to the fucking purple team.
Yeah. I lost to a purple team and my lady was a ref. Like, who cares, dog? Like, but at that moment, like, me being a young kid too, like, I wasn't thinking that, until after I got to reflect on it, and so it's like, I remember those were one of those big moments to me where it was like, nah, you win, cool, move on. You lose, you learn and you grow, and I feel like those were one of those big moments for me to where like I kind of carried on with me forever, so like even now, bro, like if I'm like losing, like with the team, like luckily, like for us, we got 5 coaches, bro. We got a gang of coaches coaching these girls, so I can just be good cop the whole time.
Mm.
Like, bro, like we lost, cool. Don't let this shit affect your whole day.
Mm-hmm.
You're still walking. You left healthy. You know, mom and dad are here for you.
Mm-hmm.
You're still winning. You're winning in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are one of those big like impactful moments in a sport for me. So that was something that'll always kind of be one of those lessons.
Yeah. Yeah. That's nice, man. It's you started that very, very young, coaching.
I was 17. Yeah,
Jeez.
I had torn my ACL my junior year
Uh-huh.
and got
So,
kicked out of high school senior year.
so do you say that to players? Yeah, I could have gone D1, but
Hey, bro.
bum me.
Hey, if I had my nah, I use it more now because my toe.
Bum toe?
Like, bro, if I had all 10 toes, like, who knows where I could have gone. I,
The Raiders just drafted Ashton Genty.
yeah. Nah, I knew like my sports career wasn't gonna be crazy long, bro. Like tried after high school for a bit and just knew it wasn't for me.
Mm.
Knew coaching was kind of like that way for me, to give back,
Mm-hmm.
So started off like pretty young. I had a cool coach in the area. He was also our videographer for our high school, recorded all of our games, and he took me under his wing.
That's
Kind
cool.
of showed me the ropes. So
Yeah. High school.
no,
That was
Pop Warner
that was Pop
actually.
Warner.
Yeah, yeah. So I tore my stuff in high school, my ACL in high school. My senior year, I got kicked out, and then he was like, "Why don't you coach? Help get back?" You know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when he brought me onto that 7 and 9 year old football team, and I got to help them out at a young
And this
age.
this was football.
Yeah.
The girls that were playing.
No, this was boys.
Okay, so
Sorry.
so the girls that were
The girls were when I worked at, they were around that same
YMCA.
age when I was working with the
Gotcha.
YMCA. Yeah, but
Okay.
my first coaching experience was football.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then being young, hella broke, I took every job I could, so went to the YMCA needed refs and coaches, and I was like, I don't know shit about too much about basketball, but why not,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when that happened. Like the Pop Warner team I was a part of, bro, like they're known for winning, so it's like I didn't really get too many of those like crazy lessons there.
Mm-hmm.
The standard was very high. It's you got to win, which is cool. It pushes you in a different way. But
Yeah.
for me, I definitely learned there's more growth to losing at times.
Mm-hmm.
But winning does feel good. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Winning does is crucial. Like
it is.
even if my boys have gone through damn near losing every game of the season, but the last three games, completely different team. You know, they finally won their first game. You should have seen them celebrate. Oh my god!
Yeah.
But I knew they needed just one, and we turned it around halfway during the season. But we were still figuring it out. And then by the time we got to the last three, like we had it locked down pretty much, which is good, But development of them and having those standards from then on, it was crucial.
Yeah. And it means a lot to the kids too, bro.
For
You know,
sure, for sure.
like our last season that we just had with the high school girls, I wouldn't call this team like they're rivals or something, but it's a team that they take a lot of lessons to,
Mm-hmm.
and so they came to our tournament, beat us in our tournament, and that sat heavy, like not just with the kids, but with the parents,
Mm.
and ended up going to their tournament and getting first and beating them, and that was the last game of our season.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we ended the season, and so like again, like you go through the the losses and the lessons throughout your whole season, but to end on that note, bro, we could have lost every fucking game. But to win like that, bro, at the end of the season, bro, and to get that like first place shirt, like meant so much to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like fuck the rest of the season. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
it's like if you can take your L's, keep your head up, heart to the sky, everything else will fall into place. Yeah, that's like the cue I give in the weight room all the time. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like you'll see the um, Armani and Sal tomorrow, and they'll say,
Oh, Marty's gonna be here tomorrow.
"Yeah, yeah." At least that's what his dad said, but we'll see.
Okay, dope.
I mean, they have to. Like, we're both Filipino, dog. Like, we're supposed to rock with each other.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I should have known. He's like, I should have came in. If I would have known you're Filipino,
Yeah.
if I would have known you're a pare. Damn. But cool.
No.
Yeah. Thank you for the conversation, bro.
No, I appreciate
This
you,
is
bro.
really, really dope.
It always goes smooth.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
man. I feel like we could probably go on for a while. So,
Mm-hmm. And I think it's good for us to also like end on that winning, winning that game, ending on a dub,
yeah,
you know, leaving leaving here on a high note,
facts.
you know. I think this series, and we'll do plenty more, with all the other coaches too, because I'm on with Derek, George. I think every coach here has so much layers to them that it's insane. That it's like, dude, we can. It's just nuts how much stories we can tell we have within this facility.
Bro. Yeah. Just wait, bro. I can't wait till you get to talk to everybody. Um, get to talk to everyone how we all first met too. You know, that's real cool. We all did an Elite 8 meeting. That was cool. When you get to ask everybody, make sure you ask about everyone's injuries, bro. That shit is, it's gold.
Damn.
It's gold, bro. So make sure you talk to them about that and all that, bro.
Now that I'm remembering, I'm gonna ask you tomorrow. But I always like hurt. I always got injured around the fucking same time when I was like trying out during tryouts. It was like, I'll ask you more tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, also I think this is a good like reflection for me as well as like for you. You know, at least that's like the experience. I hope I can like give right. You know, some questions that'll like provide me some insight into how your mental is.
Yeah, bro.
But also like, you know, hopefully there's something that we all take away from something.
Nah, facts, bro. Nah, I appreciate that, bro.
So
Definitely reminded me how far we've gotten. So
yeah. Appreciate you, dog.
thank you, doggy.
All right.
Okay.
Let's get it. Hey.
Clap, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think we could.
Should I hit the big red button?
Bro, I was sitting here trying